They say your life flashes before your eyes when you're about to die. And they're right. 1 second, I was showing my neighbor my car. The next, he pulled a hunting knife on me. No warning, no hesitation. I almost lost everything, but instincts took over. I was working from home one morning when I heard a knock at the door. It was 8 a.m. At first, I ignored it. Figured whoever it would be would finally go away. But the knocking kept going. Slow, steady, like they knew I was home. Eventually, I got up and opened the door. It was my neighbor, a guy I had only spoken to a couple of times. The moment he saw me, something shifted. He looked surprised, like he was expecting someone else, my wife. She was already at work, and I can tell he didn't like that I was the one answering. He tried to play it off, asked me about my new car, said it looked nice. Then, he asked if I could show it to him. Before I could even answer, he started stepping inside. I quickly stopped him and said, "Hey, mind going around through the garage instead?" He paused for a second, like he didn't want to, but eventually nodded and walked around. I opened the garage and showed him the car, but something felt weird. He was twitchy, fidgety, and he kept one hand buried deep in his hoodie pocket. Never took it out. Our garage is pretty small, so we were standing close, and he kept itching in, just a little at a time, like he was trying to close the space between us. Then, he randomly pulls out this Coke bottle, label peeled off, cap loose, and said, "I brought you a Coke." The liquid inside was a weird tan color, cloudy. I swear it smelled bitter. I declined, politely but firmly. He smiled like it was no big deal, but didn't put the bottle away, just kept holding it, like he wanted me to take it. He then asked if he could see the gauge cluster on the car. I agreed and moved around to the driver's side, sat down in the seat, turned the key, just trying to be done with it. With the door open, there was barely a foot of space between the car and the garage wall. Nowhere to move, nowhere to run. That's when I saw it. From the corner of my eye, he reached into his hoodie and pulled out a hunting knife. He lunged. The blade came for my neck, but I grabbed his wrist and slammed him back into the wall. We fought hard, wrestling in that tiny gap between the wall and the car. I don't know how, but somehow, I didn't get stabbed. The knife kept grazing past my stomach, missing me by inches. It felt like time stopped, like the whole thing lasted forever. I finally wrenched the knife from his grip and shoved him into the driveway. And that's when it got weird. Suddenly, he started yelling, "What are you doing? I was just showing you my knife." Like I was the crazy one. like I attacked him. I'll be honest, for a second, I believed him. I stood there in shock, still holding the knife, and wondered, did I overreact? I didn't even call 911. My hands were shaking, my mind racing. He started asking me weird questions, stuff like, do you have a security system? I lied and said yes. Then I told him to go home, over and over. Eventually, he walked off, casually, like nothing had happened. I went back inside, but I left the garage door open. I was too rattled to think clearly. I had to go into work, so I started getting ready, showering, getting dressed, all that. I assumed he had gone home, but I wasn't sure. Something kept nagging at me, so before I left, I grabbed a can of bear mace and walked back out to the garage. I looked around, under the car, behind the boxes, nothing. I started climbing into the driver's seat, then I froze. He was there, lying behind the boxes, just staring at me. Eyes wide open, not blinking, not moving, just watching. He was there waiting. I screamed and ran back to the front door, locked it behind me, and called 911. Cops came fast, but by the time they got there, he was gone. They searched my property, then his house. Nothing. Said they'd keep an eye out. Then they left. I live near the woods. Big backyard, dense trees. I didn't feel safe inside, so I stepped out onto the back porch, just to watch, just to think. I stood there, holding the bear mace, scanning the tree line. That's when I saw him. He was crouched in the woods, staring right at me. I ran back inside and called the cops again. This time, they showed up fast and found him. He didn't even run. They pulled their guns and arrested him on the spot. He told them, I was just trying to scare him. But what they found on him was worse. He had the knife, zip ties, a half-empty bottle of vodka, and a note folded in his pocket. The note said, "Turn around and put your hands behind your back." The Coke bottle he tried to give me, it was filled with pesticides. He wasn't just trying to scare me. He was planning to murder me or my wife. He's now facing multiple felony charges. This whole experience shook me to the core. Always, always trust your gut.